Oh, come on.
I'm John. Hey, Emily.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. Welcome to Jeff and Jen's second date update. You want to tell us about John?
Okay, well, I met him on Tinder, and first of all, thank you for doing this, because I've been dying to know why he hasn't gotten back to me. He lived just a couple of miles down the road from me, so it was like, hey, you want to come over? I'm like, great. I pull up. He's got this great townhouse. He drives a really nice car, and when he opens the door, I'm like, oh, my gosh. I'm not going to out him, but he's in the media. People know who he is, so I was a little...
Whoa. Hold on. Wait. You said he's in the media?
Yeah.
You mean for a job? He works in the media?
You would know who he is.
We would know who he is. So he's recognizable then.
Oh, juicy.
Now, did you know that based on his photo on Tinder?
You know, it was kind of one of those things like, oh, that looks like, but you don't think he's going to be on Tinder. You know, why would he?
So is his name, I don't know how Tinder works. Is your name not on Tinder?
Well, it'll just say like Jeff T. or Jeff.
You can always fake it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You can make
And
it
then-
whatever you want.
Does it usually have occupation listed too sometimes?
It all depends on what you want to fill
What
in
you
there.
want to put out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember what his occupation said on there? Did it say, I'm a...
La la la.
No, I said something like public relations or something very vaguish.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha. So does he work in television? I got to know who this is.
just no, later.
Okay.
If you get him to go out with me again, I'll tell you.
Okay.
You can go. It'll be a double date.
Well, you might know by his name.
Well,
I mean,
is John his real name, or is that just the name we're using for the purposes of this second date update?
Yeah.
Is that a changed name to protect the innocent?
That's his Tinder name.
You didn't meet up with Pat Barry, did you?
No, I wouldn't have called.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
Wow. Okay.
we love you, Pat.
Yeah. So we're having a great time, and there's definitely chemistry. And sometimes, you know, on Tinder, it's just a big hookup, and then you leave. But we talked for hours, and I was ready to just, play the card. But I was like, well, I don't want to be that girl. I don't want to be pushy. But nothing.
So nothing happened.
Zero. Nothing.
Did you guys make out or anything?
It was respectful. We didn't throw down. There was no third base sliding into home type.
Okay.
No, nothing like that.
Okay.
But yeah, no petting zoo.
So funny.
Gotcha. Well, so what was his reason then? Like, did he say, how come, why don't you think anything happened? Do you think he's just not into you, or?
I have no idea. It seemed like he was because, I was there a long time and he kept the conversation going and he kind of made the first move and, usually that's a good thing. And,
Are you guys consuming any alcohol at this point? You having a drink or two or three?
some wine might have made an appearance.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Okay.
And then disappeared.
Gotcha.
No, I have to ask, when you have been dating on Tinder, have you made it a habit to go straight to the other person's home? Or did you meet up at coffee shops for some other dates or, something a little more traditional?
I always meet in public, always a public place. But since it was really close to my neighborhood, and when I pulled up, he had a great car and a really nice house, and I was like, well, I don't think murder would be a wise career move for this guy. So
That makes it safe to go in when they have a nice car and
I
house.
don't know. Do you remember all those women were found in that $1 million house in Atlanta that was being held captive by this guy? They were being forced to work as strippers or something. You just never know.
I don't remember that.
Oh,
but
yeah. This was recently. But anyway, all right. Well, I'm glad he didn't turn out to be an axe murderer. He's a recognizable personality here in the tri-state.
Okay, Captain Fisherman, he's in the media. I'm not going to tell you who he is.
You're just going to keep it vague and say that he's
That's
in the
all
media.
you're gonna get.
Okay, so it could be radio, could be TV, could be anything. We're not getting
It
specific.
could be magazines. It could be online.
It could be
It
magazines.
could be. I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe I can figure it out if I can hear his voice.
I know. I want to hear him. Just call.
Hey, I know you're going to type this number into your phone to see if it's already saved.
Yeah, we might.
We might have his
We
number.
all should. Okay, here we go. Let's try to call him up. Hey, bud. It's Jeff and Jenn at Q102. How you doing this morning?
Hey,
You busy? You got a few minutes?
what's going on?
John, this is a second date update, and we're calling you John because that's the name you go by on Tinder. And if you recall Emily, who you met on Tinder, you had her at your house. You guys hung out, had a few drinks. She told us that you guys didn't sleep together, but she is a little confused as to why you just kind of never called her again after that. She explained the sensitivity of the situation. She indicated that you may be a known person.
Recognizable personality.
Right, so...
Okay, I'll come on as long as you guys don't use my full name, just because it was so bizarre.
Well, we don't know your full name. All we know is your name is John, or your Tinder name is John.
Fantastic. We'll leave it at that.
All right. So what was the deal there?
Well, it wasn't my intention to sleep with her. I was hanging out. I was bored. She was attractive. We were talking. We had a good conversation. Things seemed to be heading in the right direction. I opened up a bottle of wine. We were talking. And then it got a little weird. Like, she took my finger and put it in her glass of wine. And it was kind of weird, but then she started to suck my finger.
Ooh.
Okay, I can go with that.
Right.
Then she started sucking my second finger and my third finger and my fourth finger, like she was ready to swallow my arm, like she was trying to suck a watermelon through a garden hose.
That's how it starts. Yep.
Yeah, and it, you know, someone might go, oh, well, yeah, it's great. But she started making these noises and slurping, and it was kind of turn off. It was one of those things I was like, whoa, like, it was bizarre. It wasn't, hey, I'm sexually sucking your finger. It was, like, it was weird.
Emily?
Emily, is that your big move?
No, that's not what happened at all. First of all, he is full of it. I did this little trick that I do. I can start with your hand and work my way in the northerly direction. But apparently he was into it. It didn't get that extreme. He was moaning. He was totally digging it. He liked it. And he would have liked it a bit more, but Captain kept his pants on.
Whoa. I wasn't moaning.
Hello, boatmaster.
And if I was moaning, it was trying to cover up my laughter because I was so amused by the situation.
Nah.
Well,
Interesting.
everybody's got their style of seduction, I suppose.
I suppose.
Yeah. Is that a move that's worked for you before, Emily?
Oh, I got moved. I got moved.
You got other moves
All
up.
over Asia. I got moved.
Oh, man.
John, you're not in? You're not thinking you'd be willing to do a second date with her?
No, absolutely.
You got two hands, baby. What's up?
I'm like half in this conversation. I'm trying to recognize. Trying to see if I can recognize John's voice.
We'll run into him somewhere, I am sure, and he will say, hey.
Well, keep your hands to yourself.
Yeah.
That's on his name.
So nothing doing here then, huh?
No, nothing doing on my side.
All right.
All right. Well, it was worth a try. Thanks for your honesty and your willingness to play.
I'm telling them who they
Yeah,
are.
thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, John, do me a favor and say, coming up tonight at 6.
Coming up tonight at 6.
Wait a minute.
Gotta go, guys.
All right, man. Thanks for playing with us. Thanks for taking the call. We appreciate it anyway.
Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good
You
one.
bet.
Nobody got outed.
Bye.
All right, Emily, sorry it didn't work out for you.
There are other hands in the sea.
Wow. God love you.
All right, take it easy.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much. Bye.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Summer's here. You don't want to be running that AC nonstop. Keep that cold air inside with new energy-efficient windows from Universal Windows Direct. Hi, it's Tim. Call for a free estimate. 513-755-1800.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect.